Here are 5 yummy and delicious bakeries in Chula Vista that maybe you've never heard of before. Coming up. Welcome to Life in Chula Vista. This channel is all about living in Chula Vista and the surrounding areas. My name is Timothy Manglicmot. I'm a local realtor here in Chula Vista. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 unique pastry shops and bakeries in Chula Vista that maybe you haven't heard of before. Some of these are my personal favorites. I'm going to go over, why I like it, what are their specialties, and just a few insider tips. So without further ado, let's get into it. And real quick, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in Chula Vista, again, I am a local realtor here in Chula Vista, specializing in the local area, but also the San Diego region in general. I know the area really well. I'd love to see how I can help you kind of maximize your dollar here if you're looking to buy or sell a home. My contact information will be in the description below. I'd love to see how I can help. All right, let's get into it here. First bakery on the list is Hans and Harry, which actually isn't in Chula Vista. It's actually located in Bonita, but it's so close to Chula Vista and it's so yummy that I just had to make this list. So Hans and Harry, what's it known for? It's known for world famous just fresh fruit strudels here in the Bonita area, which is again really close to Chula Vista. Hans and Harry is also known for decadent cakes. Fresh fruit strudels #1, and then decadent cakes #2 at Hans and Harry. That's kind of what I always go there for. Hans and Harry also has other things in there. They definitely have a lot of different pastries and desserts. And there's just a big display there with a bunch of just different pastries that you can choose from. But again, I go there for the fresh strudel, the big fresh strudels that they have, or the decadent cakes, which also have that fresh strudel at the top. I will say the other pastries are really good here. Don't get me wrong, but then they're definitely not the main event. If you're coming here, you're definitely coming here for the fresh fruit strudel and those decadent cakes that they have. Prices for the strudels run about $33 for they're kind of famous, just long strudels that you kind of see here in this picture. And then regular cakes will run you about $35 to $40. And then the custom cakes that you can order here can come, much, much more than that, depending on what you order. So ordering is usually fairly quick at Hans and Harry. Once you walk in, all you do is you simply take a number and then you wait for your number to be called. Sometimes Hans and Harry can get packed, but there's usually a lot of people, especially on the weekends, to kind of help you run through the long lines that they might have. So one pro tip that I have for Hans and Harry is you can order online. All you do is you go online, figure out what you want, choose a time that works for you, and then come pick it up. There's a separate pickup window at Hans and Harry kind of on the side if you want to just, move quickly through Hans and Harry, especially because, sometimes they get pretty packed. Parking is actually really easy in Hans and Harry. It's located kind of on a strip mall where there is a ton of parking and a humongous parking lot if you want to go there. Okay, next on the list is House of Cuban Flavor. So House of Cuban Flavor is actually located kind of on the west side of Chula Vista, kind of in a strip mall on the west side. So the House of Cuban Flavor serves authentic Cuban food, from pastries, which I'll cover shortly, to just Cuban sandwiches and oxtails and plantains, kind of your normal Cuban cuisine, which I won't cover in this video, but they definitely have those there and they're pretty delicious. So many people have heard of Porto's in LA. I definitely go to Porto's a lot when I go to LA. So the House of Cuban Flavor definitely reminds me of Porto's. I don't know that's quite Porto's, but it's definitely the same kind of food and definitely the same kind of flavor that you will find in Porto's. I go there when I want my Porto's fix and I don't want to drive all the way up to LA. So if you're coming here, you're going to want to come here for the mango cheese strudel or the guava cheese strudel. These are definitely my favorites when I come here, and I always get that. I always get a few of these just because they're so good and so delicious. Occasionally, I will also get the cheese roll or the potato balls, which they also serve here. They're also really good, Cuban pastries that they serve here. Very similar to Porto's. They also have empanadas, so your classic meat empanadas, beef or chicken, which are also good. But again, I come here for the mango cheese strudel or the guava strudel, which are excellent and delicious when you come here. But generally, for any of the pastries that I mentioned, these will run you a little under $2, so they're pretty generously priced. It's a pretty good price if you're looking to pick up some pastries over here. Again, the parking is really easy if you come here. The parking lot is humongous. It's located on this gigantic strip mall here in Chula Vista. Again, kind of on the west side of Chula Vista. It's not the nicest area of town, but it's generally pretty safe. I've never had any troubles when I got here. Um, and so if you're looking to go there, parking is really easy and it's really easy to order. There's generally not too long of a wait if you want to come here. All right, next on the list is Starbread Bakery. So if you lived in the Bay Area, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because Starbread Bakery does have a few locations up north in the Bay Area. But this place is known for senorita bread. If you come here, definitely get the senorita bread because that's what they're known for. That's the thing that you're going to want to get if you come to Starbread Bakery. Again, they do serve other pastries here. They have malasadas with guava, chocolate, or strawberry, or just other flavors that they might have every now and then. They have donuts here. They have mochi donuts here. I think one of my favorites is ube mochi donut, which I love in this area. But again, if you're going to Starbread Bakery, senorita bread is what you're going to want to come here for. Definitely get a few of those. It doesn't look like much in the picture, but you'll have 2 or 3 senorita breads, and then you'll end up eating 9 or 10 just because they're so good and they're so just dangerously delicious that you'll just end up eating a ton of these. They're so good. And so for the senorita bread, you can get them in different quantities, anywhere from a small bag of 5 all the way up to a large box of 60. And for that small bag of 5, these will run you about $3 for those 5 pieces, all the way up to $36 for that big senorita bread box, for $36 for 60. Again, senorita bread, Starbread Bakery, that's definitely what you want to come here for. And this one is also located on the west side of Chula Vista, pretty west of Chula Vista, kind of close to the mall down there. Parking here is going to be also very easy, kind of similar to all the other ones on this list. It's not a huge parking lot in this one, but in Starbread Bakery, I've never had any issues finding parking and then coming here for the bread. Okay, next on the list is Hogetsu, which is one of my favorites. But even if you're a local in Chula Vista, my guess is you probably haven't heard of this place unless you've been here for a while or somebody told you about it. They are known for their mochi, but sell other Japanese sweets, which are known as wagashi, for just Japanese sweets in general. But mochi is what you're gonna want to come here for. They do sell really fresh, handmade Japanese mochi. It looks really pretty if you look at it in these pictures here. And for those of you who don't know, mochi is just kind of a soft, chewy Japanese rice cake, which can be sweet or can be a little bit savory depending on how they make it. And then the ones here generally tend to be pretty sweet. They definitely have a lot of different flavors, and they're really delicious and just yummy to look at if you look at it in the picture. My favorite mochis here are just the full strawberry ones or any of the mochi squares, which come in a variety of flavors. But then for the mochi squares, I definitely like the lemon just because, I'm really partial to lemon, which might be a Chula Vista thing since, lemons has a lot of history here within Chula Vista. Hogetsu Bakery does have kind of odd hours, just in the fact that they're only open Wednesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They kind of march to the beat of their own drum there, just with their hours. But it's definitely a family-owned bakery. It's one of those places where they'll hand make everything, and then if they sell out, they'll close for the day. The mochi does run about $2.30 just for your regular mochi, up to $2.70 for the floral, just flowery looking mochi that they have here. So again, it's not too much for each individual mochi, and then they'll pack them up pretty nicely here in little boxes that you can get to go, which can last a pretty long time. And there's some pretty clear directions if you're looking to store them in your refrigerator. If you want to keep them fresh, there's kind of a little direction on the box just to keep them fresh. So parking in this area actually is a bit odd, just because right in front of Hogetsu is just parallel parking, which is kind of odd in the front, especially because it's kind of located in an alleyway. But there is pretty ample parking just located adjacent to Hogetsu. You shouldn't have trouble parking there. It's just kind of odd if you want to park really close since it's like a parallel parking spot kind of in the front. And don't let this location fool you. This is also located on the west side of Chula Vista, but it's generally pretty safe to come here. Like I wouldn't let that trouble you if you're worried about going to the west side of Chula Vista. Hogetsu is definitely worth the trip to the west side if you're looking to feel your Japanese sweet just mochi fix for a place that, again, most people haven't heard of in the Chula Vista area. This is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, last but definitely not least, again, another one that's located on the west side is Sweet Bakery Mexican Lindo. This one is located in downtown Chula Vista. They used to actually have a location right next to the mall, but they moved pretty recently, or not recently, but fairly recently, especially for those who are familiar with this one. Uh, this place is known for the cakes. At least for me, this is known for just really nice cakes that you can get either custom, or you could have cakes that are just ready made, kind of on display here. That you could get them to customize if it's a birthday or any kind of celebration for the ready-made cakes that they kind of have on display. So the prices for the cakes will run anywhere from $36 for your standard 6-inch round cake, all the way up to around the mid $50 range for a 10-inch cake. They also have pastries here and tamales, but I definitely come here for the cakes. The pastries are good. I'll definitely grab a few when I'm here, but cakes is what I come here for. So one pro tip for this place is if you are looking to come here for cakes, and let's say you want to get a cake for a celebration, you can actually buy cakes by the slice here just to kind of test out the flavor to see what you might want to buy, especially before you make the larger investment for a larger cake. You can try out a smaller cake for around $5 here, which it's a pretty good price for just testing something out. In terms of cake flavors, I definitely like the coconut cakes, the red velvet cakes, and the tres leches. These are 100% my favorite cakes when I come here. But this place also does have a pretty extensive set of pastries here that anybody can purchase, and they're really also good. And again, whenever I come here, I will come here for a cake, and I'll always come away with a lot of different pastries to come along with my cake when I come here. And with that, these are 5 unique bakeries here in the Chula Vista area. All of these are definitely my personal favorites in the area. There's definitely a lot more bakeries in Chula Vista, but these are my 5 favorite bakeries. They're not ranked just because I don't think I could have picked one over the other, but they're really good. And to summarize this here, Hans and Harry, which is known for the fresh strudel or the decadent cakes. House of Cuban Flavor, which I go for the mango cheese or the guava strudel, and it's going to be very similar to Porto's in LA. Starbread Bakery, which you're going to go for the señorita bread, the little small breads, which I love to just munch on constantly. Hogetsu Bakery, which you're going to want to go there for their fresh, handmade, delicious Japanese mochi, which looks really nice, and you could even give it as a present to somebody. And then Sweet Bakery Mexican Lindo, which is my go-to place for cakes, especially for birthday parties or any kind of a special event, just for cakes. So I'm curious to know what you think about my list. Did you think that I left anything out? Do you love any of these places? Definitely leave a comment in the comment box. I'd love to hear what you think about any of these bakeries that I mentioned. And if you have a favorite bakery or just a favorite pastry in any of these that I didn't mention, definitely leave a comment in the comment box. Again, my name is Timothy Manglicmot. I'm a local realtor here in Chula Vista, specializing in the Chula Vista area, but also serving the broader San Diego region. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, I'd love to see how I can help you and use my local expertise to see how I can maximize your dollar. My contact information will be in the description below. Feel free to call me, text me, email me, whatever works for you, wherever is easier. I'm open. I respond to everybody, so definitely leave me a comment or just leave a message. And with that, I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks.